was September 2019 when I first learned about Afrezza, and that was thanks to a diabetes educator who also happens to have type 1 diabetes. I felt that my injectable insulin wasn't working, and I actually said that to her. I said, I'm injecting insulin a lot, and I'm testing a lot, and it's like I'm not injecting. And something's got to give. This isn't working. I'm stressed. I'm struggling. I feel like I'm out of control, and I've spent a lot of time really focusing hard on this. And it wasn't because, I wasn't doing lots of tests. I was, and it was driving me crazy. And the diabetes educator is a type 1 herself. And she stood up in the middle of our conversation, and she walked across the room, and she came back with an Afrezza sample, and she said, "Have you heard of inhalable insulin?" And I laughed, and I said, "Oh, you're joking. Inhalable insulin? This sounds amazing. How have I not heard of this? And could this even be possible?" And she showed me the Afrezza, she showed me how to use it, and she said, "Give this a try. I think this is going to be the right option for you." And that was an example of somebody in my care team actually really listening to me and really listening to the struggles I was having. At that point, I was doing 6 a day, and I'd been injecting for 39 years by that point. So the prospect of not having to inject so much was wonderful. And the other thing for me with Afrezza was I did have to take a beat because we have some lung illnesses in my family, and so the prospect of that being a side effect was something I did consider, but I didn't consider it for very long because I felt that the benefits really outweighed that possible side effect. When I started Afrezza, I did have a cough for a little while, but that dissipated. I've discovered that if I drink a little bit of water beforehand and a little bit of water afterwards, and I'm absolutely fine. There's all the bonuses of the convenience, but the blood glucose is the biggest response, and that for me really is all the data that I need. Often I would spend far too long dealing with a high blood glucose. That's not my reality anymore. Afrezza has really helped me deal with the roller coaster that type 1 diabetes can be. This is my experience. Others may be different.
Afrezza is a rapid-acting inhaled insulin used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes mellitus. Afrezza can cause serious side effects, including sudden lung problems and low potassium. Afrezza is not for patients with chronic lung disease such as asthma or COPD. Tell your doctor if you smoke, recently stopped smoking, have ever had kidney or liver problems, a history of lung cancer, or if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. The most common side effects are low blood sugar, cough, and sore throat. Severe low blood sugar can be fatal. Do not replace long-acting insulin with Afrezza. Afrezza is not for use to treat diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not take Afrezza if you are allergic to insulin. Talk to your doctor before changing your Afrezza dose. Blood sugar may need to be checked more frequently. Please see accompanying full prescribing information for Afrezza.